Dane, boys, this is a sort of a cause close to your blokes' hearts after what your dad went through. Like, you're happy to sort of throw your weight behind it and raise some money for a valuable cause.
Yeah, so this is the second year Clay and I have been involved in the running of the game day sort of promotion of the foundation. So, yeah, it's obviously something that Clay and I went through a couple of years back now with our old man. So, yeah, I guess from the foundation point of view, we're sort of trying to raise awareness, and I think the early detection and stuff is the key, especially in men as well. Like, so for Clay and I mean, we're a lot more aware of it now because of what happened, but there's people out there that it can happen to anyone. So it's just being on top of it and making sure that we're aware and being able to prevent it happening.
How is your dad at the moment? Is he on the road to recovery?
Yeah, he's back at work, so he's not happy about that. But yeah, no, he's going well. He's still obviously going to have his own little battles throughout the rest of his life, but at the moment he's on top of things, and yeah, he's healthy, so it's good.
What's your message then, Clay? I guess it's not something that we, as guys particularly, tend to take a lot of care of when it comes to our own health sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's more of a pride thing with males, the generation, and that I think 90% of bowel cancer detected early is treatable and curable. So, yeah, I don't know what with Dad, it was just he come through generation, country boy. The attitude of what would I want to go to a doctor for, only to give me bad news sort of thing. So it's just that early detection, raising awareness, and I suppose swallowing a bit of pride, and there's more to it.
So you boys were on top of it and had...
we haven't had to yet, but I think it's by the time we're 40, we have to start having bowel tests, so we'll probably do it earlier. So
I know battling cancer probably puts football in perspective, boys, but has it been tough watching the last couple of weeks with what the side's been going through out there?
Yeah, I mean it has. It's difficult, but what do? You can't turn your toes up and throw it in. There's only one way out of it, and that's by sticking together and trying to turn things around, and that's what we're trying to do. So, yeah, as a group, we're very disappointed in where our season's gone to date, but we're aware that there's still rounds to go and we can still redeem ourselves.
Do the senior players as a whole need to be more consistent? It seems that their performances are up and down, and that's hurting the side.
Oh yeah, we've got to lead from their leaders. Have got to lead. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think we're a young leadership group, all bar sort of Rog. So we're all learning. We're still trying to find ways to be able to lead out in the ground when things are tough. I haven't been able to be out in the ground too much lately, so yeah, it's difficult to watch those guys try and battle it on their own, but they're doing their best to try and work on that and try and bring some sort of energy to the group once things are tough.
What have you seen as a major stumbling block, Dane? You've only sort of played a couple of games, but probably got a good chance to watch from the side. What's been the major sort of roadblock this year, do you think, to improving and developing?
It's a good question. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I mean, our contest stuff since I've been here has always been poor, and it still is poor. So, yeah, we've done a lot of work on it, and we've trained it, we've spoken about it, but for whatever reason, we're not seeing a game day. And until that happens, we're going to keep dishing up the same results. So, it's on us to be able to try and turn it around, because the coaches can give us all the stats and all the game plans, but unless we go out and implement them, they mean nothing. So, that's what we'll be looking to do the next half of the year.
How hard does it make it not being able to define those stumbling blocks to get over what's ever in front of you if you guys sort of aren't 100% sure what is going on there?
Yeah, well, that's another good question. But, yeah, like we look at things during the week. There's indicators that we have during the week that we're not meeting. And that all comes back down to sort of effort, and blokes just fall. Well, I think we see lapses. There's a lot of lapses going on where we kick the first 3 goals of the game on the weekend, and then we tried to talk about it at the end of the game, like why does that happen, and then why do we end up dishing up what we dished up, and it's confusing. But yeah, it's just going to have to, we're going to have to look at things, and everyone's got to look at themselves individually and try and turn it around.
It's just hard, I think, for people to maybe accept that effort can be brought into question with professional footballers bringing the same every single week? Is there something you've tried to do to get over that hurdle, or what is the issue?
I don't think it's effort from the start. I think it's effort once we've got a few goals and teams get a run on. That's been our problem. We go into games generally feeling good, and our effort's pretty good for the first sort of half of the first quarter until the opposition throw a couple of punches and they kick a few goals. It's then when we just give up it, and it's strange, it's bizarre, and we've got to fix it, and that's what we're looking to do. But like I said before, there's no way out of it for us. There's still another, how many rounds to go?
10 games.
There's still another 10 games to go for us, so we've got an opportunity, and that's what we're seeing it as, an opportunity to fix it.
Clay, how hard's this week? I guess being on the training track, Leper sort of intimated in his press conference after the match that you might have to go a bit harder this week, either with meetings and then on the training track. Has you seen it being sort of a bit stiffer this week after last weekend's?
Well, we still have the same focus as Dane touched on. The contested ball side of things and contest stuff has been poor. So it's probably more of an honest meeting at the start of the week. Boys being, I suppose, hard on each other, not accepting poor efforts and demanding more from each other. So it's more, it's more on the players, and we're the ones that go out there and dish up the junk that was last weekend. So it's up to us to turn that around. We trained well today, trained well on Tuesday, so now we just got to go out on Saturday and implement what we've done.
Can you give us a bit of an insight into that meeting? What was the key message at the end of that?
Oh, I won't dwell in it too much, but it was just an honest meeting.
Because it's shown that we're not acceptable. They're not acceptable at AFL level. So, and guys had to see that. I think in the past we've sort of been able to, in ways, brush over them a little bit. But guys seen them, and they're not pretty. They're not good. They're not good to watch. Guys that had those efforts wouldn't have liked seeing them. But it's important that they take the lessons out of them, look at them, accept them for the efforts that they are, and work on them and make sure they don't happen again. Because as soon as we can sort of start ironing those out of our game, then hopefully we might not win games, but we might be competitive, and I think that's going to be the key for us.
How's your knee, Dane? Are you any hope of playing the last couple of games, or have you conceded that that's the season's run on one?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting one because I'm on the long-term injury list, so that rules me out till round 19. So, I mean, that's only going to give me sort of 4 games to try and play, but I think I'm not running till about week 8, so it's going to be hard for me to get back and play this year. But look, I've got a rehab schedule put in front of me. I'll do it to the best of my ability and give myself every opportunity. But at this stage, it's probably 50-50.
Is that hard when it feels like that all this rehab might be for nothing when it comes to games?
Yeah, it's mentally challenging. It is, but it is what it is. The cards have been dealt, and that's just what I've got to deal with. So, there's people, we're standing here talking about people that are battling cancer and trying to raise awareness. So there's people much worse off than what I am. So I'll just knuckle down and do what I have to do.
On a positive note for the club this week, Eric Hebwood's making his debut. What is that like, coming into a club that's struggling so much and then being the local boy?
You asking me?
What's it like to come into a side and be 18 years old and they've got all these problems, and it's like, what kind of mentality does that take, and what does that show about him?
Yeah, it's hard for me to answer that because when I was drafted, I went to a team that was fairly good. We played finals in the first year, so to be honest, I don't really know how to answer that question. But Eric's got a great attitude. He's been playing some good footy in the NEAFL and he's earned his spot. So I'm sure that when he runs out with the boys on the weekend, he's going to put his best foot forward and hopefully give us some. Wherever he plays, it might be forward, might be back. So he'll give us a contest.